Hi everybody, this is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Monday, January the 8th. Welcome to our video commentary. You know, I'm sure all of you are familiar with DACA. It's going to be one of the sticky issues this month as the Congress comes together to do a budget. And the issue with DACA, of course, is that both parties appear to be divided. On one hand, the Democrats want to have DACA, period, no conditions. And the Republicans are saying, yes, we will pass DACA, but there has to be some kind of enforcement. There has to be some type of border enforcement, perhaps a fence in certain areas, more employer enforcement, more control of the border. And this is where the issue is right now. One side says, no, give us DACA without any conditions, and the Republicans are saying, no, we will give you DACA with some conditions. And I'm hoping that they can work something out, because I think for the most part here, we're talking about young people who were brought to the United States when they were youngsters, young people who in many cases are doing well in school, they're doing well in college or whatever. And I like to see these young people get an opportunity to stay in the United States. But the Democrats are going to have to understand that the country also wants border enforcement. And politically, it's very difficult for many of these Democrats running for re-election in places like West Virginia, Missouri, Indiana, North Dakota, Montana. Many of those congressional districts, let's say in the central part of the country, that the Democrats are going to have to win if they want to win a majority in the House. It's very difficult in many of those districts to run on a basis that you support DACA without any conditions. It's just a very difficult thing to do. So the Democrats are going to have to compromise a little bit here and say, okay, fine, we will accept some of these border enforcement, we will accept some of this immigration enforcement, and in exchange for that, we will get DACA. And I think that's where the solution is. But the Democrats are going to have to understand that politically, they have a weak hand when it comes to DACA, because DACA on its own, really, an up and down vote on DACA right now would fail. You don't have 60 votes in the U.S. Senate to pass DACA without conditions, without some immigration conditions or border enforcement conditions. So I hope the Democrats understand that if they want to get DACA, they're going to have to agree to some of these conditions. And frankly, I don't know why they wouldn't agree to these conditions. Border enforcement is good for everybody, not just Republicans or Democrats. It's a good thing for the country to have more border enforcement, employer enforcement. All of these things are good for the country. They're good for workers. And I also think, as I said before, I support the legalization of many of these young people. Not all of them are going to qualify, but most of them should be able to at least qualify to stay in the United States on a work basis or study basis, whatever it may be, while we work out perhaps some other arrangement for them long term. So let's get something done. This is a good opportunity for both parties to come together and do something. But Democrats need to understand that DACA by itself is not going to fly. There has to be some type of border enforcement or immigration enforcement to go with it. Otherwise, it's simply not going to get out of the U.S. Senate. Thank you for watching. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas. We have all of these videos over at YouTube, as well as Twitter, as well as our blog. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.